Man, are these kids.
Me
All
too. And
right.
goddamn these adults.
All right. We haven't started yet. All right. It's Fright Night with Ferocious B. I'm Ferocious B. And then we have Fuzzy Belvedere. We have Canada. And we have Presto Beaches.
Hello,
So,
Presto.
who's doing introductions today?
Fuzzy.
Fuzzy.
Oh, Fuzzy, they elected you.
I got elected for doing. All right, everyone. Well, welcome back. If you're a returning guest or watcher of the show, glad to have you guys back. We're going to be discussing Hell House LLC for all of those that are intending on going to a haunted house this Halloween. Yeah, this is going to be a good topic for you before you go, kind of thing. But let's get to the panel. We'll we'll start off with Xbox Canada.
Sure.
Glad to have you back on here. So, what have you been up to these past few weeks, and what have you been playing video game wise or watching movie wise that's on the scary side, getting ready for Halloween?
What have I been watching? I'm trying to think. You know what? Honestly, my my wife and I we nothing really horror movie related. I don't know why. Just the movie that we watched that we're going to talk about today is all I've really watched horror wise in the last little bit. But we went down like a rabbit hole and we found some. My wife found some trash TV, and we've been spending a lot of time with that lately because it's just, junk food for the dead, like the brain dead after a long day of work. Um, and also we had Real Thanksgiving up here last week,
Real
and
Thanksgiving.
yeah, Real Thanksgiving, and it was wonderful. I cooked a meal for more people than I've ever done before in my life, and that was 20 people.
Nice.
I did 2 turkeys, the stuffing, the potatoes, and fed them my homemade bourbon. That was the first time I've ever really fed it to or offered it up to anybody that wasn't myself.
Mhm.
And I got really great feedback, so that was pretty cool.
Nice.
Gaming, I just been playing a little Call of Duty, and then the other day I went on like this ADHD fueled bender of like 30 different games through Xbox Game Pass.
Mhm.
On and then I was just using like the cloud thing. So I was just like, oh, I'll try this. 5 or 7 bored. Okay, I'll try this. And I got bored. And I did it to like honestly between 20 and 30 games in about an hour and a half. I didn't find anything that captured my imagination for more than 10 minutes.
Nice.
But
So like
yesterday
a TikTok of gaming, kind of like just scroll through.
yeah, I was just not able to focus on anything. But yesterday I came across an older game that I didn't really know anything about, and it's called Anno.
Mhm.
It's made by Ubisoft, and I got which one was it? I got Anno 2205, and it's
Mm.
basically like a city builder sim type thing. And man, that I'm awful at that kind of game, but I love them,
Mm.
and that just like pulled me right in yesterday. And
Nice.
yeah, so I'll probably be playing that until I get my review copy of Call of Duty, which should be any old day now. And
Nice.
that's it for me, man.
Awesome. Awesome. Well, glad to have you back. And yeah, we're going to definitely have some fun with this topic tonight.
Yeah.
And congrats on the real Thanksgiving. I guess the rest of us here in the US will celebrate it in like another, 4 weeks or so. But
About a month,
Yeah.
a little over a month.
yeah.
Thanksgiving the sequel.
So
Don't call it a
Presto,
comeback.
It's never as good as the first one, but it's still pretty okay.
Depends who you ask.
Yeah, fair.
all right. Next panel member, we have Presto back this week as well. So, Presto, let everybody know what you've been up to these past couple of, or this past week, and what you've been, watching. Any video games you played that are horror related. Just fill us in what you've been up to.
So, haven't been playing horror related video games, but my wife's a huge like Nintendo, NES, Super Nintendo, and we went to a flea market and we found Marble Madness for Nintendo, and I love that. I forgot how much I love that game, and how bad she is at it, which makes me love it even more. So, yeah, did that. Movie wise, Hell House is my pick. It holds a special place in my heart. I'll go more into that then. But then I watched the other ones. Yeah, I mean, I've been trying to watch horror movies, at least one a day. So what, even if it's on TV, like all the Nightmare on Elm Street has been on TV, so just kind of been watching those. And tomorrow I'm going to be in Red Banks to meet Jay and Silent Bob. So
Oh, nice.
Nice.
pretty pumped about that. I'm getting the stuff I want signed out. So yeah, that's pretty much it for me.
That's awesome. Man, oh man. Yeah. Won't be able to see Jay and Silent Bob for a bit. Did go on the cruise earlier this year, or yeah, it was earlier this year, but yeah, it'd be better to have like more of a one-on-one, because with the cruise you're on there with hundreds of people, so it's no real one-on-one other than like a photo op kind of thing. But that's awesome, man. So glad to hear that.
So the cool thing with this one is it's almost like a no-brainer to me, at least, because it's at his comic book shop. I think the ticket was $80, but then for the $80 you get like the second hardcover edition of his comic he has out. I forget what it is, autographed. You get up to 3 things autographed each by Kevin and Jay, and then you get pictures. Like you go to a con, you spend more than that for like
That's
an
not
autograph
bad.
on one of them.
Yeah, exactly.
That's a steal right there.
Yeah.
He's like, you're ripping him off.
Well, he's a genius because people come to his store then and spend money. So it's like he just hangs out at his store, signs stuff, and he makes money. But yeah, it's like anytime he has these things at his store, I try to go because like it's so much cheaper to do that than going to a convention and meeting them. And you have more time to just talk to them because they sell like time slots. So I go at noon. So they'll have like 30 people for like an hour. And you just wander around the store, take pictures with them, and just hang out.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Is Ming going to be there?
They didn't advertise him. He hasn't been working at the comic shop. It's only Finger Cuffs. He works there. I forget what his name is.
Finger
And Mike's always working there.
Okay, Mike still works there.
Yeah. I guess they had some falling out with Walt, so he really doesn't. I don't think he has anything to do with the store anymore.
No, but that's awesome. You got that coming up and everything. Man, oh man, definitely have to give that a go next time they have something at his shop and stuff.
For sure, we'll get together for that.
Yeah. Hey, let everybody know what you've been up to this past week, whether it's movies, events, stuff upcoming, and any. I know you haven't played any other games other than like Don't Starve, which is about, I guess, as scary as it's going to be. Although you don't tend to worry about the things in the dark since you have a campfire always set up. But let everybody know what you've been up to.
I'm being attacked by a kitty cat right now. The gray one's here. So tomorrow I'm dragging Fuzzy over to a local haunted like scenes and stuff like that they're doing over at the Borough Hall in Modena. So we're gonna be there for a few hours, and then basically I've been just trying to get my schoolwork done, and my car, unfortunately, battery died. So that was an experience. Being stranded in Delaware with your car battery dying, and you got to get it jumped. You go over to Advanced Auto, they won't touch your car because it's got to be reset by the dealership. And you have to ask them for a jump, and then you find some place and they tell you, hey, your battery's so low that we can't even get a read to see if your starter or your alternator is a problem. So that was an experience.
At least it wasn't in Patterson, New Jersey.
That is true. That is true. It was in Newark, Delaware, so I guess that's not that bad.
No.
So yeah.
All right. Well, as for me, I've been playing one particular. I guess you could say it's a horror game. Well, kind of. It's more of like a weird sci-fi, alien-like kind of game called Scorn.
Mm.
It's kind of like a puzzle and walking sim with some weird alien creatures that you have to fight against. So it was leaving Game Pass soon. Figure it's an easy enough 1,000 gamer score to play it, and it wasn't bad. I know a lot of people out there don't particularly care for the game, and others have, kind of walked through it and were afraid to touch stuff because it is kind of gross in some regards. But it was fun enough for the 1,000 gamer score, and being in Game Pass, I would say it's probably worth picking it up on sale. I think it goes normally for like 19.99. If you catch it on a sale for anything less than that, it's not a bad, experience, especially if you're into the movie Aliens and things along those lines. Check it out. But
Yeah.
outside of that, just been playing some sci-fi stuff, a lot of Starfield, a lot of Outer Worlds, which I went from a zombie kick with State of Decay. Now I'm on a space travel kick with Starfield and Outer Worlds. So just going through all kinds of different genres. But as far as movies, just I did see a movie on Tuesday. Got to see Smile 2, which a little bit of backstory. Didn't quite make it all the way through Smile 1 because of the cat in the box scene.
Yeah.
Me being a cat fan, it was like I saw it a mile coming, and I'm like, no, don't y'all guys do this, don't do it, and they did it, so I turned it off, and I was pissed off. I'm like, what? So, but I figured I'd give Smile 2 a chance, especially since Monster Mania partners or whatever had some sort of like preview type of thing set up. So I headed on down there, and man, it's action worthy from start to finish. So definitely, if you're into, I don't know, like these weird haunting kind of, paranormal, well, not really paranormal, but like stuff along those lines where people are kind of going insane. Yeah, I say definitely check
Possession
it out.
stuff.
Yeah, I would say it's a definitely a worthwhile see it in the theater because it's got the I guess you could say the excitement and jump scares that are worthwhile doing in the theater. I You could wait until it comes on like streaming service and see it at home, but I think being in the theater it definitely stands out a bit more. But that was an awesome thing to do on Tuesday, and then this movie that we're going to talk about. I had a lot of fun, but I'm gonna save some of the stuff about that as we get into the topics and things like that. But so glad to be here with you guys. Thanks to everybody checking us out today. So let's Fee, go ahead and start us off with our initial impressions.
So, we're talking about Hell House LLC. Presto's the one that said, "Hey, let's do this one." So, we'll see how this pans out at the end, right, Presto?
Yes,
Um,
ma'am.
So, as some people already know, this is kind of like a haunted hotel situation. They're creating a haunted hotel, and things go, of course, awry because the history comes into play, which, I mean, it's a decent take on on history of a haunted hotel. Um, but I haven't seen the second or the third one, so I'm not sure, if there's more to it
There's
than what
4
they
of
said.
them actually.
There's four. Okay, so
Yeah.
I haven't seen the other three, so I'm not sure if there's more history or less history or different history or what. So, um, when we watched this movie, was this the first time watching it besides Presto Ari having watched it? Did anybody else
This is
have?
my second time.
This is your second time. Okay, so
Yeah.
I know Fuzzy never watched it, and I had never
Yeah, this
watched
is my
it.
first.
So yeah. So you guys got to see a little bit more detail than the first outing. Is there anything that you saw now that you didn't catch before in
No,
this
not really.
movie?
Not for me.
Really. Not for you.
It
Okay.
wasn't like that long ago. Like it was for me. Like it was almost a year ago, I think, roughly
Mhm.
around. It was around this time that I watched it the last time. So, and I have the memory of a sieve, so I pretty much forgot about it. But like I knew what my thoughts were on it, and they haven't changed. So
Okay.
I feel like, I think.
So, what were the initial thoughts, and who wants to go first?
Well, my initial thoughts on it were that it's a budget movie, but I think that they were effective in what the story they're trying to tell. Um, for the most part, I think I actually really did kind of enjoy it. It's not like this movie that I'm going to go back to on the regular, but if every now and then if something like I haven't seen the other movies either, but I will. I definitely like. I know I need to. I just haven't got around to it. But this probably, I would say, would have given me the kick in the pants to go and start adventuring into those movies and checking them out. But yeah, I think that they did a pretty effective job. Some of the things that they did I thought were really cool, in a few scenes, um, and a couple things like maybe a little hokey, but whatever. Like it's horror. If you don't get a little bit of hokiness in there somewhere, are you even doing it right? So yeah, that was just and really didn't my thoughts didn't change at all. I was just like, yeah, that's what I remember. It was exactly what I wanted. It's kind of just sit back. I like found footage type movies too, right? So, um, yeah, it felt like I don't know, just being at home, I guess you could say.
Anybody else?
So I guess I'll give the reason why I picked it. So I actually went to this haunted house before Hell House came out. Like every Halloween, they do this as a haunted house, and then Hell House came out, and I didn't know it was the same place I went to until probably a couple of years ago. And I was like, oh my god, that was like I went there as a haunted house during Halloween. Like this is awesome. So I'm a sucker for going to filming locations. Like if there's a movie and there was a filming location close by, or I go on vacation, there's one close by. Like I love going to filming locations. So the fact that this place is like 25 minutes from me, I was like, oh my god, of course I'm gonna watch this movie and check it out. And right next door to it is a place called Country Junction, which is the world's largest general store. So you could get anything there. You could get like a dog, grocery shopping, like a life-size Dorothy from Wizard of Oz, like pumpkins, goats, like it has everything. So if you ever do visit Hell House or the Waldorf Hotel, it's called, feel free to stop there. It's right next door. But I really I enjoyed it that I watched all four of them. I also like that this found footage, it wasn't as herky jerky. Sometimes some found footage is like all over the place and it like can make you sick. Cloverfield was one of those where it was like all over the place. People were running nonstop. So you were like, whoa, like what's going on? But yeah, I enjoyed this. Um, like Kincaid said, I'm not gonna watch it like every month, but to go back and watch all four of them at least. The fourth one, I think it's at a different place though. Like the next two are still at the same place, but then the fourth one's at like a mansion or something in New York, I believe. So I'm interested with my pick to hear what everyone else has to say about this movie and the reviews. Because if I know Fee, this is probably like a 9.5.
Well,
Which one did you like the best?
I believe the first, and I'm trying to think it was the third or fourth. Um, it might have been the first and fourth I enjoyed the most, I
Okay,
believe.
all right. And do they all connect? Like one, I think they all connect, right? Like there's like
Yeah,
more
they
like
all
brought in.
connect, but at the
Mhm.
same time you could kind of like not like you could just jump to the third one and still enjoy it without having to watch the first two, but I still recommend going from like 1 through 4. But it's just in like a small town. This place, like the real location, not in the movie, but like it's just right off the road. Like it's a place you probably people drive by all the time and don't even realize. But supposedly it is haunted in real life. So there's that also aspect that adds to the movie.
Nice.
Nice. Yeah. Yeah. For
What about
me,
you, Fuzzy?
my initial impressions on this movie was that it was definitely better than what I was expecting. Like I was hoping this wouldn't be a cheesy one, but I should have trusted, Presto's Pig a bit better.
You don't
in
trust me,
comparison.
but you trust him. What's up with that?
Well, some of the ones you've picked before have been on the, I guess, more comedic side than scary side, and this one was like a good mix where there was some comedy that turned serious real quick kind of thing. But yeah, I like the fact that after going through some of those scary houses where it's like you can barely see where you're going, it's not pitch black, but it's pretty close to it, and you got to feel your way around. Seeing how this played out and seeing the lead up to it and everything, I like how it turned out. Haven't checked out any of the other ones, but considering how good this one was, in my opinion, I would say I'm definitely on board for catching some of the follow-ups or the prequel one and whatnot. But yeah, I enjoyed myself watching this, and there are points where it's like if I was somehow involved in something along these lines, when stuff starts going awry, yeah, I'm out. I'm not. There's no way I'm sticking around to collect the check or finish the video for future stuff or social media. No, stuff starts spooking me. Yeah, I'm heading back in the car or calling Uber or something. I'm out. But yeah, this was a pretty cool one. I definitely enjoyed it. What about you, Fee?
So
Oh boy.
I don't know about a 9.5 now, but
Okay.
it wasn't bad. There was like one confusing part to me. They could have transitioned that better. It was also low volume. When they recorded it, the sound was kind of low, so I couldn't really kind of pick up everything. But the creepiness of the clown was very effective. But towards the end, I think it got a little too chaotic. It was kind of hard to see what was going on and everything. But that girl, when Paul woke up,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, that was definitely creepy. And the fact that I remembered their names was a plus, because some of the movies you don't even remember their names of the characters. I wouldn't say there was much character development per se, but I think my brain did associate certain things that were going on with the particular characters. Like Paul was the cameraman. You could tell the difference between the girlfriend, Sarah, right, and the other females that were actors that they employed. Of course, Alex, you knew who he was. So yeah, I mean, I thought it was pretty good. Not a 9.5 though.
9.2.
I'll take it. I mean, those clowns are creepy. Like I think there was 3 of them in the first one. Like,
Yeah.
and there really wasn't even blood in this movie. Like, if you want a good movie without blood, like there's a little bit of blood in one scene, but like, there's not like violent killing or anything, and it still has that creepy factor. Like those clowns, when he turns his head, or like just you see him in the hall with the stroke, like that's some freaky shit, man. Like,
Well, apparently they were going to go the animatronic. Can't say it because my speech impediment, but you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
They were going to go that route, but the clowns kept on falling down when they propped them up, so they actually were in the clown suit when there was movement, because they couldn't do it any other way.
Which it's good. I'm happy it turned out that way, because I feel like an animatronic, it would just look too herky jerky. Where
Mhm.
this definitely added to the creep factor.
Yeah. And it was really creepy that 1 minute you saw this clown kind of, positioned one way and then all of a sudden it's staring at you. Yeah, that was creepy.
I mean, the place is creepy in itself. Like, it not even just talking about like going there, but just in the movie, like going down in the basement with the stairway and stuff. It shows like it gives you a creepy vibe. Like and then the dining room, and it's just like very old schoolish kind of, and it just like it feels like a haunted house without having anything scary in it to begin with. And then you add the clowns and the other factors, and it's just like really kicks it up a notch, I feel.
Yeah.
I don't know about you guys, but when they walked into the dining room area, I could personally smell what that room was like in my mind.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The dust, the mold, like
Yeah,
you smell that.
yeah.
Yeah. And I think that's the great thing about these haunted attractions, the ones that we go to during Halloween and during October, is that they add the smells. The good ones add the smells. Like you go to Frightland, you go to Field of Screams out here in the Pennsylvania, Delaware area. They don't just put up a display. They put up the visuals, they put up the smells, they do the sounds. I mean, they really do a good production.
Yeah, they
So,
even have like the water spray on some of them, where it's
Mhm.
like if you see something being sawed and you're not sure if that's water or blood splatter or something. So,
I've
Like-
never been to one.
no.
oh,
I don't think they even have them here. Like they have this thing called Saunders Farm up here.
mhm.
It's not too far from us, about an hour. And they have this big like haunted hayride sort of maze thing.
Mhm.
But I've never done one of these like haunted house sort of like big, you know, done up things like that before.
Mhm.
I guess I should probably go to Saunders one of these days, but it's just one of those things to find the time, you know.
Yeah.
Well, the only one that I didn't really like Bates Motel out here. I liked certain parts of it. I just didn't think it was kind of worth the money. But I think some of them are getting kind of out of hand with the VIP.
Yeah.
Penhurst Asylum, they are just out there. It's like $2, $3, $4,000 for a ticket for some type of VIP. With you can go in and do like get a camera and have a tour guide, and it's some of these things are just getting ridiculous financially.
Mm-hmm.
But there's a lot of them that aren't. You can go there for a regular general ticket, still be able to get in without having to worry about a whole bunch of paying for a VIP ticket. I don't know. I mean, how do you feel, Fuzzy, about when we go and do the VIP compared to the general when we go to the haunted houses or haunted attractions?
I think the VIP it's like a line cut basically for the ones we've done. It saves time, especially like was it Field of Screams where you're talking about 300 or 400 people in line, and you might have like for the VIP lines like maybe 30, so it moves a lot faster. They'll take a group, the VIP group, or like a VIP group of like let's say 4 or 5 with every 10 or 12 that come out of the other line kind of thing. So it speeds you through, but I can't imagine like the ones where they can hit you back or hit you and you're not supposed to hit back kind of stuff, or the ones where it's like a full-on like real tour of like some sort of insane asylum, like a real former insane asylum kind of thing. Yeah, I'm not paying 4 figures to do that. No, that kind of defeats the purpose. It's like, yeah, it's cool, but nah, no, not for if it's more than 100, it's probably not worth it for me at that point. I don't know.
Yeah, I couldn't imagine paying $2, $3, $4,000 for one night of an experience. Yeah, I mean, even when we went to Crystal Lake, because we went to Crystal Lake this Saturday, we just went for the extended tour, which was nice. I mean, each ticket was $160 basically.
Jeez.
And that wasn't even VIP or anything. That's how much they're charging for an extended tour. And they do have an overnight package, but even that is under $1,000.
Hmm.
You know what I'm saying? It's nowhere near 1,000 to stay even overnight at one of the cabins or in one of the tents. So, and that's almost 24-hour experience. So I can't imagine what is going on over at Penhurst Asylum all of a sudden, that they're charging thousands of dollars for not even a full 24-hour experience. So thinking about the craziness of, you know, what these places have become and everything, in the movie though, they were bare bones budget. The whole reason why they paid actors to do this stuff is because they couldn't go the route of you know, having machines in there doing a lot of the stuff and everything. So how did that add to kind of like the movie in reference to the lore and all that other stuff? How do you guys feel about that?
I loved it. I felt like it felt more authentic, and like it felt real and believable, and like at times I felt like I was with them on the journey in that haunted house. Like, and I'm not just saying that because I picked a movie. What about you, Fuzz? You agree? Disagree?
The big thing I liked about it was it did feel grounded in reality. I do like the fact that like they had like some of the locals that they were hiring for the event type of thing, and they, you know, knew some of the or had heard the rumors of what was behind that hotel and the previous owner and some of the craziness involved in that. But yeah, I think the way they went about this, you know, even if it was, you know, a shoestring budget kind of thing, you know, as far as the overall making of the movie, I think they knocked it out of the park as far as giving that realistic feel without having to, you know, break the bank. Yeah, a AAA budget, you know, blockbuster budget would be awesome, but I don't think this one needed it, and it drove the point home pretty believably, you know, the way it was. But yeah, I like the times where you could see, or at least how the actors in the movie were getting uncomfortable in the process. Like the one guy, he was dead set, but you know, he's probably the one that's signing the checks and or wrote the check to get the place and all that type of stuff. So he's committed no matter what. And then everybody else is kind of like, I don't know, maybe we should
Time to go
cancel.
home.
Yeah, it's time to, you know, close up shop or something like that type of thing. But yeah, it definitely felt more, you know, grounded in reality, for at least for me.
Now, I don't know because I live close by, but when they're doing the interviews and like talking to the locals and stuff, like I feel like they portrayed that well. Like when you think of little locals, like a little town, like those are the people that you picture in movies that like would play those people, at least to me.
Yeah, it definitely came across authentic in that regard. Like it didn't seem like anybody was like, you know, going for top billing or something. Not saying that they just pick people randomly off the street, but they delivered their lines in a way that felt like, yeah, they basically asked people that were at an event, and when stuff goes wrong, it's like, I don't know what happened, but everybody started running and screaming, and you know, kind of the stuff you would expect to see on like the news and stuff. It's like, oh, the cops aren't saying anything, and we don't know, and yeah, I made it to the basement, and then people were running the other way, and yeah, that was all awesome.
So what about the lore? Because at one part, and this is where it was confusing for me, when they two people out in the field, and I'm assuming they were talking about Alex didn't tell them something, and then all of a sudden they're talking, and one guy is telling the other guy something that Alex knew that nobody else knew.
Mm-hmm.
What was that? Because I couldn't figure it out, and I'm sorry, my one cat is like walking over things. Give me a second.
the
Talk
only
amongst yourselves.
Well, I guess the thing that I took from what Alex knew that the rest didn't know was that the original owner hung himself, kind of thing. I guess that was the big secret, and that I guess the smaller story that they made mention of, he rented that place or bought that place based on Adidon or whatever it's called, was like also a synonym for like the gates of hell or something like that.
Mhm.
And that maybe he was part of a cult. And then the whole thing with the some of the customers that stayed at the hotel, particular mom and daughter disappeared or something. Um, I'm assuming that's what Alex knew and didn't tell anybody else, other than like the one guy. He was kind of like, he probably told him that, yeah, the original owner hung himself, and they had to close up shop, kind of thing. But I guess that's kind of the big secret that they were all kind of kept from, kind of thing.
Mhm.
What do you guys think?
No, I think you hit the nail on the head there. It's probably how we managed to get such a large place. They're able to, to bootstrap that, because that's not cheap to rent a building or buy a building that size, right?
Yeah.
So it's probably how he managed to get it for, a song and a dance sort of thing. I think you pretty much hit the nail on the head with everything you said there.
Yeah. But yeah, that place, I mean, it definitely seen better days. So it was a bit run down, but still, like you said, you're not going to get a property like that for probably what they were making from the previous, season and stuff like that. It's considering they, probably use some of that money towards the next year, and then whatever money they have to survive off of for the remainder of the time, or maybe it's, outside of what they do for a living beyond that kind of thing. But yeah, it just felt like, I think if I was part of that group and we're doing haunted houses, just not my fear of ghosts, but just, when the hair stands up on the back of your head, if you've ever been in that situation where you walk somewhere and you just feel like, oh, there's something here that you may not be able to see, but you can feel it, kind of thing. Yeah, I think I would probably have either asked questions or, the way things are today, pull out my phone. Hey, Google this Hell House. What happened to the original owners of this property and stuff?
Sure.
And Google would definitely be my friend at that point. But
yeah, and I just want to let you know, Fuzzy would be doing this in the comfort of his own home, because he would not be doing it around the property. He'd be already home by now.
well, no,
that's why
before
he
we
would
go
survive.
there,
Oh, before you
we
go
go
there,
there,
you ain't even going to see the place. You're just, I'm gonna sit here, and I'm gonna be like, I'm gonna look up and research this place. Yeah, it sounds like you.
yeah, because the owner hung himself. Yeah, why did he hang himself? Oh, some people disappeared, and questions came up. Oh, and he may have been a cultist. Yeah, I'm gonna sit this one out.
Sounds about right.
Cry baby.
I'll be the crybaby. I'll be the alive crybaby. But yeah.
YOLO.
Well, I would have had to stay home because Fuzzy's my ride. So
We would have dropped you off.
We're like, oh hell no, you're getting your ass out there.
We would have dropped you off, and me and Fuzz would have went in Country Junction and bought some fun stuff
I'm sure you would have
and picked you up later if you survived.
if I survived.
Yeah.
Be walking around like Paul. Like Paul, and just like
Yeah.
aimlessly around.
So let's talk about Paul. What are your feelings about him being essentially the first victim?
He waited too long. I don't know. When you're doing like this little video documentary, well, not documentary, but you're doing like your own self interview because you're filming the whole events, and somebody's sleepwalking supposedly in your room, not really responding. I think I'm probably waking that sleepwalking person up. to realize it was probably the lady that met up with him later. But yeah, that would have been, hey, everybody wake up! Who is this wandering around, and why are they wandering around?
So do you think Paul was essentially taken out first because he was a naysayer the whole entire time?
Mm.
Because nobody else was saying, "Hey, let's get out of here. Let's pack it up. This isn't a good idea." Paul was the only one, right?
I think they may have been wanting to get rid of the evidence. He got a camera. Let's go get him.
True. That is true. When you're one of the things about hauntings is that they say when you start redecorating, when you start fixing a house, and moving things around and stuff like that, that's when things start to escalate. Because you're disturbing the environment.
Mhm.
Everybody else was doing that except for Paul. So I'm just like, why was Paul the first one? Was he trying to warn everybody and they got upset about it? Because, these are spirits and demons. I just think that really didn't follow the plan necessarily, or what usually a haunting is. So I'm just thinking, was that just, an error in the plot? Or
Personally, I don't think that there was. I don't think. I think you might be reading too much into it, or maybe I'm not reading enough into it. It's kind of like it's. I think it's up to the viewer to decide what that is on that. But I didn't put that much thought into like the timing or the order in which things happened for these people. I don't know why. I just never really thought to. Maybe I will going forward because of this, but I just feel like it was just maybe because he was just the easiest one to get to because he was so simply affected. There's something that he was being affected by there, and maybe he was just more not simple-minded, but you know what I mean, like more open to the idea of it, so it was easier to get to him first.
Yeah,
he was sensitive to it or something. Like
maybe.
I feel spirits can probably sense who senses them, kind of thing.
Right, like Carol Ann in Poltergeist, right?
Yeah. Well, I mean, I'm just wondering because was that a deliberate thing, or was that just an afterthought when they were making the movie?
That's a good question.
Yeah, I'm just wondering.
Maybe you
So
can find him on Twitter and ask him the question. Maybe he can
Maybe.
answer.
That'd be interesting.
Because the cool thing about some of these independent horror film directors is they're very accessible, and like Steven Smith, the guy who directed Werewolves that's coming out in December. That dude is super active on Twitter, and I talk to him all the time. He's awesome.
Yeah. I mean, that'd be an interesting idea.
Yeah.
So, what about the lore, though? Did seeing the pictures because remember they had experts come on to this was supposed to be a documentary, supposed to be found footage, and they had experts come on to talk about it, and they had two people talking about pictures, and they took pictures after the event, they had pictures before the events, like crime scene photos and stuff. So did seeing some of these pictures add to the creepiness of everything?
I would say, yeah. The one that really got me from get go, and it's real early on, is when they're showing their video footage, like the group or the team that's doing the haunting, and they're walking around and they quickly glance past a room and there's like a shadowy something in the corner. And it was just something they kind of pointed out for, I guess, the documentary aspect of it. And it's like, oh, okay. And then you could see like some of the blood trails or the handprints and whatnot kind of thing. It's like, yeah, yeah, there's probably a reason why that stuff is there. And if the cops aren't saying, maybe it's because it's a unsolved case type of thing. They try not to copy or comment on an open investigation. But yeah, some of the photos and definitely the actual found footage itself, that to me, and I, like I said before, I'd probably be checking like what I filmed during the day, just out of habit. I know, like when I used to do stuff like that for my previous employer, it was just one of those things. It's like, oh, we got some B-roll footage. Let me just, glance through it, see if, some of these things came out the way I wanted. Oh, there's somebody standing in a doorway, and then they're not standing in a doorway, a minute later. Yeah, we should probably, change the plans or something.
Commence Operation Shit Your Pants.
Yeah. No, but I definitely like how they structured that whole deal, where it's like, oh, they're going along, they're all, excited for this, and as they get closer to that launch day, it's like, something weird happened. Oh, another weird thing. Stop playing practical jokes on me. I'm not playing practical jokes. I was here all along. Wait, what?
Mm-hmm.
You hear that music playing? It's like, the minute you hear music playing, it's like, that's your cue to get the car keys and go.
So which character did you feel was the one that you thought was going to survive, or maybe thought was the best character, or was a total jerk as a character? Like, let's talk about the characters.
I just like Sarah the best, personally.
Why'd you like Sarah the best?
She was hot. No, I don't know. Just I just I had to go there. I just had to. No, I just liked her character. I just kind of like, she was kind of there and a little more. I don't know. She was kind of focal, like they kind of make. I thought throughout the movie. So I just thought that, and also, I'm a big fan of the final girl sort of thing.
Mm-hmm.
So to me, it made sense, like, that she would be the final girl, and that's just, I think, where my head went.
Well, she was the one that was kind of being possessed. She was the one that was found a couple of times. Just zoned out. Not sure what's going on, just staring at a wall kind of situation.
Yeah, she was. I think this was one of the few movies where I kind of don't think I had a favorite character, but it wasn't in a bad way. It wasn't like, oh, I hope they all die. Like, I'm just not attached to any of these characters, because there are movies. There's one recently I watched. I forget what it was, but like, I just could not connect with any of the characters, and like, they were desperately trying to make you like connect, and like, I was like, I don't care if they die or live. Like, I just want to see what happens at this point. Where this one, it was just kind of like, all right, like, you got this group. Like, I didn't personally have a favorite, but I didn't hate any of them. So it was like, if anything happened to any of them, it would have been like, okay, that's cool. But it would have been like, oh man, I can't believe they killed them. So I was just kind of impartial, just kind of along for the ride, I guess, with the characters.
Sure. So you had no ill feelings to Alex and his secrecies?
There's always one that's a little shady like that, but I wasn't reading too far into it because I wanted to see how it played out. I mean, maybe he's the one that always speaks up and they tell him to shut up. Maybe he is being secretive. Like, I don't know. So, yeah.
Yeah. No, I for me, it was more that I kind of identify with Paul in a weird way. But I think I would have been more adamant or forceful as far as, we got to go kind of thing. I don't know. I've been that person that have seen some weird stuff, and it's like, we got to go. Or it's like, just get your stuff, get in the car. Let's head in the opposite direction, like ASAP. and you may find out later why, but it's like the minute he started seeing like the head turn or saw the clown that was just standing at the top of the stairs, and then he looks away and looks back and the head's turned, and it's like, wait, that mannequin doesn't have a way, or the dummy doesn't have a way to turn its head. Yeah, that would have been enough for me. And it wasn't you that was down there. You've been up here near the guy that was on the couch all this time. Yeah. Mm-mm. Mm-mm.
See, I would think my buddies were fucking with me, like with the head moving. Like I would think, like I turn my head and they'd move it. So like I don't know if I'd be so fast to just leave. Like I would think they'd be messing with me, and then I'd probably be trying to mess with them back, and then I'd probably die because I would like be with the clown and get killed, basically.
Well,
Sure.
Well,
I think I would have pulled the mask off. That would have been the big thing. Like,
yeah, who's there?
if I think they were fucking with me, I'm pulling that mask off. Be like, all right, Jay, take that. Oh, okay, that's not Jay. All right,
Yeah,
and it's time to go.
I'd be more.
Yeah, you're doing the Scooby-Doo thing. Let's see who's under this mask.
Ruh-roh.
Exactly.
Remember the first time we see the clown move his head, they wind up seeing Sarah. That's the first time we see her staring at a wall.
Mm-hmm.
So at first they thought it was her that did it until they find her staring at a wall. So and then after that, it's like, what just happened? Like they had totally forgotten about the clown at that point.
That was the one thing I thought that they shamelessly stole or ripped off of the Blair Witch Project. To be honest.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Because that scene, the very last scene in the Blair Witch Project, when I first saw it in the theaters, because before like viral marketing was a thing, I was like, holy shit, this is wild. I need to see this movie, because that's what everybody was like, this is crazy. This is like supposed to be a true story. Like I remember in my city, there were the missing posters for those people.
Yeah.
And I was like, that's crazy. And like, let's go see this movie. It sounds wild. And that scene at that very end where what the hell's his name?
Josh.
Thank you. Yes, I should know that. It's the same name.
Josh.
It's the same name as mine, right? He's standing there staring in the wall. That fucking sent chills down my spine, and that it hasn't happened. That hadn't happened in for years prior to that moment. So it kind of got me for that 1 second, but it wasn't near the same. But it wasn't nearly as effective.
It still had a little bit of a touch for me. Now this whole time, like, we're talking about the clown, and I feel like clown in horror movies is such
a trope.
Because like you hear clown and like you could think of Pennywise right away, and either the new one or old one, totally different clowns. Where I feel like this clown, it was like the mask it's a pretty simple mask. Like there's nothing crazy about it. Like it's just like a jumpsuit. Like you could actually buy the clown mask. They sell them, and they actually have a link where you could buy like on Amazon to get the official shoes and like the jumpsuit and everything. So you can be one of the Hell House clowns for Halloween if you guys want to.
I've got the body for it.
Well, yeah, you had Thanksgiving last week, so
I know. I'm just packing on a little holiday weight right now.
Well, it's getting colder out, so bulk up
I was
a
also
little.
stung by a bee a couple weeks ago too.
Yeah, we'll go with that.
Shut up, man.
No, but it's clowns being used. I think in this case, it works out because that's what you see in like the haunted houses nowadays, especially all the clowns in horror movies. Like Terrifier now is a new clown, so it's like,
oh yeah, that clown too.
He's great.
But
I can't wait to see that movie.
Yeah.
I'll eventually get around to it. I'm not quite into the over the top slasher stuff just yet, but that will be on the near soon watch list.
But think about this, and I know we're off topic here, but think about this. So Art the Clown is like the first really truly iconic horror character that we've had since what? Ghostface?
Yeah.
Who Okay, who do you
I
think
wouldn't call him
who would you add as a
I
truly
wouldn't say
iconic
he,
franchise character?
no. See, I wouldn't really say Art the
Would you
Clown
say
is
Jigsaw?
iconic. Yeah, I would say Jigsaw, but I wouldn't say iconic. I don't
Really?
know. My feeling about Terrifier is that
You
it
just
really
hate it. You shit
it's
on
not that
it.
I hate it. It's just that I I find it without a story. And while I am fine with slashers, while I am fine with, as they title it, torture porn, what I'm not fine is not having a story. Art the Clown goes around killing people in extreme ways, which I don't have a problem with,
Hmm.
but I just don't really understand why he's doing it. Like, what is his backstory? There's not
But
much to it.
But isn't it scarier or more
yeah,
interesting
No,
not knowing anything? Come on,
nope, nope. Mm-mm. It's more
that's what I
scary
was
to
gonna
know
say.
why.
I don't like your
Nah,
negativity on this Friday.
I think
Yeah,
sometimes
I
it's
don't need the
better not
why.
knowing. Like sometimes it just adds more. Like there's some movies where you find out why and it makes sense, but then like you kind of limit yourself if you make sequels because then you gotta like find another way to like, okay, why did
Think
they
so?
do this again? Why is this happening again? Where
No, I don't think
Terrifier, it's
so.
just kind of like there's no reason. He's just doing what he wants when he wants, and
Because
the end.
I don't find that scary. I find that just I find it realistic, to be honest with you. I mean, the Art the Clown is realistic. He is
Mhm.
somebody that you could wind up seeing on the street
Hopefully
or
not.
somewhere,
Well, we just
you
had
know.
something in the news not too long ago in Philly, so yeah.
Exactly. I mean,
But
somebody with a meat cleaver.
that person had a ghost face mask on.
Ah,
What, the one on the bus?
There was a guy in Philly or something that like had a machete and killed somebody with a
Um,
ghost face mask on in
no,
Philly.
that's not what we're talking about. There was another one. What was it, yesterday or something like that, or the day before,
yeah, meat
where a guy got
cleaver.
on a bus.
He was crazy. They say he was crazy or delusional and
Hmm.
just saying random stuff to the guy, and he just started hitting him with the meat cleaver, and some of the people ran off the bus and got the police since it was right near the station kind of thing.
Yeah.
And they still found they found the suspect still on the bus with the meat cleaver, so he didn't go
Yeah.
far.
Did he kill
And
people?
well, he
No,
didn't kill the guy, but he bloodied him up pretty bad.
Mhm. Yeah.
And he's in custody, and they didn't know each other. It was just apparently some random crazy person getting on the bus, speaking gibberish with a meat cleaver, and decided you're the the chopping block of the week kind of thing. And I guess we'll find out more later. But yeah, that's
And
It's
2
probably
weeks before Halloween.
the guy said Summer Camp Massacre was an 8.7 or something.
Oh, too soon.
too soon. No, I know we're off topic, but I just think Art the Clown not really saying anything, just being the strong silent type, and
What? That's like Jason,
Yeah.
Michael. Like
I know,
Yeah.
but he also doesn't have a backstory. Jason has a backstory,
that he
right?
died as a
Michael
little
Myers has a
boy.
backstory.
He
What?
died he drowned as a kid, but somehow still grew up. Yeah, good backstory there.
Okay, well, listen, I'm telling you this horror magic, okay? It's just horror magic, it's his spirit, and his spirit as a little boy felt that being a grown man in probably his 40s, that's, obviously always at the gym,
Mhm.
that was the boy's
Just
image
got to
of
haul those
himself.
bundles of weed.
Yeah.
Yes,
Well, he ate some spirit
I'm just
Wheaties,
saying.
so
But I'm just saying, Art the Clown being silent at the same time not having backstory, it's just gratuitous violence at that point. And like I said, I don't have a problem with gratuitous violence, but you have to have him either talking or you have to have a backstory. Otherwise, it's just
just
Definitely
think of
violent.
no
him as a
talking.
I don't
mime.
think I agree with that. Personally,
Just think of him as a
None of us.
mime.
he could just be an evil spirit, right?
Mm.
But
Do you like Jaws?
again, we don't know.
Yeah,
That's
somebody
the
hurt that
problem.
shark once upon a
Yeah.
time.
Do you like Jaws,
Yeah.
Fee? Like, do you want to know how is a baby shark, and then the mom
Baby
left
shark.
it, and
Hey,
then
hey,
He got caught
hey.
in a shrimping net, and
Jaws
he's
Yeah.
pissed
had
about
a
it still.
backstory. Jaws had a backstory. Y'all didn't catch the backstory. That's fine. But
please enlighten us.
that fish had a backstory.
What was the backstory?
Okay? I can't remember, but it has a backstory. And then in the revenge one, it had a secondary backstory where
Mm.
it was going after the family, what was left of the family, because it already had killed the original character. What's his name? What's his name played?
Dreyfus or no?
No, the other one.
Bro. Oh, the guy that gets eaten by him.
Quinn?
Yeah.
You talking the
So-
fisherman? Quinn?
Yeah, Quinn.
No, the other guy.
Hopper.
Not Dreyfus.
Hopper.
I have to look it
Quinn.
up. I have to look it up because it wasn't based off of Dreyfus's character. Jaws. Let me see.
Yeah, but I mean, there's no backstory there, and it's creepy as hell. I don't
Well,
like going in the
Like
ocean
I said,
because of
it
that.
has a backstory.
Well, maybe the backstory is he's killing these people because somebody skipped out on paying him after he was hired to do a birthday party.
Because of the
It was
warming,
Brody. It
the
was
warming
Brody.
ocean.
It was Brody.
Did you ever see
Rob
the meme?
Schneider's character, Brody. That's the one that was the revenge
Cop.
movie
Mm.
of Jaws.
Yeah,
I think it was Jaws 3 or whatever.
That was like Jaws 3. Yeah.
Yeah.
But that's
But
not.
that was the secondary backstory.
Nah, that's
Yeah,
just 3 movies in. And it was a dog shit movie.
Did you ever see the
It was
meme
the
where
best one.
they said if you watch Jaws backwards, it's about a shark giving body parts to people that don't have them?
Donating limbs.
What a lovely shark he is.
Mm.
That's a people person.
Absolutely. King Sharks early days.
But I don't think movies, like, sometimes movies with no backstory are so much better because then your mind really races and it's just like, oh my God, this could happen. Or,
You can build up your own backstory.
yeah, each person interprets it differently. But I guess in Fee's case, every movie needs a backstory and has to make sense. And I don't know, people have to talk, even though some of the greatest horror movies, they don't talk. Did we miss anything?
So I'm gonna let you know.
Oh, boy.
Oh, here we
Okay.
go.
Here's what
You're
it
getting
says.
it.
Yeah,
Right.
man.
Coming out.
So in here, the story revolves around one shark that seems to hold a grudge against particular individuals and goes after them with intent to kill. So Jaws apparently had a grudge against beachgoers.
Why? Because she was naked?
I don't know, but apparently Jaws had a problem with beachgoers.
Because they
Yeah,
were
Jaws
polluting
didn't have a
his
summer
water.
body.
Yeah.
Because they were scaring away all the fish?
Yeah, so Jaws did not like having people at his beach. That was his beach.
I don't
And he
either,
was
but I'd go eating
protecting
them.
his beach. Well, he's hungry too. It's like, but it had a backstory.
Well, I'm still in favor of somebody shortchanged the clown on the birthday party that they were hired for. So that explains somebody going off the deep end and becoming a serial killer.
I wouldn't be surprised if there's something in the works that's going to alleviate your stresses about Art the Clown. And you're going to probably learn more about him. But I do think that he's transcended just like the budget horror films. The movie's done very well so far. It's only been one weekend. This is his 4th movie that he's been in. But like he's getting skins in Call of Duty. He's transcended it. What I mean like an iconic transcended character is like he's beyond just his films.
Yeah.
Like you've got him in Call of Duty. You've got a video game coming out with him now. Just like things like that, and he's everywhere. Like a couple years ago, you didn't see Art the Clown anywhere, but you do now.
Oh
Because
my God, he's
everywhere, man.
Just imagine how many people are going to be dressed up as him for Halloween.
Absolutely, he's going to be one of the hot topic characters this year. I mean, that movie, and I haven't seen Joker 2, so I don't know if it's any good. I'll watch it next week when it comes out.
People
for
are
myself.
saying people are saying you can miss it. It's
That's
the
fine.
reason why they did not put in that it was. They said it was a musical, but they didn't advertise it as a musical, is because they knew people wouldn't go if they knew it was a musical.
Everybody knew it was a musical, though.
No, not everybody knew it was a musical.
Yeah, I
Because
didn't
they
get that
stopped
I knew it was a
advertising
musical like 2 years ago when they were talking about the script still.
Well, yeah, but if you saw the new advertisements, they had taken that off.
I have not seen the new advertisement, but it's coming on video on demand, like officially, like on the 29th or something like that.
It did not
but
do well.
He's still, and I don't care if it's a shit script or a bad movie. He still went toe to toe with like the clown prince of crime, and beat him. Like when I first heard that movie was coming out, and it was like a week after or 2 weeks after Joker came out, I was like, that movie's gonna get slaughtered. But okay, go for it, guys. Like it crushed it. I don't know. I think it's cool. I think that's a cool thing about Art the Clown, and what's going on right now is there's like a lot of buzz and a lot of hype around this character and this film franchise, and that's cool.
Yeah.
I mean, Spirit Halloween has the franchise now. Like Walmart's starting to have some
animatronics
stuff.
are everywhere.
Yeah, it's like the big thing now.
It is. It's the hot item this Halloween for sure.
Yeah.
I think Art the Clown, the only thing that Art the Clown and Terrified did was make torture porn a little more acceptable to mainstream, to be honest with you. Like I said, there are much better series that, came out before him that
I'm not asking you for what
credit.
those were.
What?
Does it involve snorting a space rock by chance?
No.
I was just asking.
I'm not talking about that.
Asking for a friend.
That was
what was that even called again? What was that movie?
The Festival of Living Dead, and that was a remake.
That
was a remake. That was not part of the original series.
That's fine. Yeah. It could have stayed its own independent film somewhere.
Put the Living Dead
changing. Wait a minute, Fuzzy's changing his rating because he didn't think it was that bad.
It wasn't that bad, but it was. But that's compared to summer camp, whatever. Thing.
Oh, really?
So it's
that's
like
in comparison.
No, but let's agree to disagree. But I look at Art the Clown as like the new hotness now. Like until some other scary character comes about that like gets the perfect jump scares. Well, we need something that's going to come out with some jump scares that really shake people up. But until then, Art the Clown is he's going to hold his own and probably continue to be a top pick for a Halloween costume for the next couple of years. So
I mean, the big thing is when the second one came out too, it was like, oh my God, people are passing out, people are throwing up in the movie theater. Like,
why?
I'm just saying that helped create such a buzz where it's like, I gotta see this. Like, why are people passing out? What is this scene they're talking about? And it's kind of like the same one this time. Some of the theaters gave barf bags. Some of them like
brilliant marketing too.
Yeah, they had like warnings everywhere. Like, hey, if you're feeling uneasy, our staff are trained. Yeah, so
and to pat you on the ass and call you a big baby.
So, but yeah, like this is how it is, and I feel like each one, as they progress in Terrifier, they're trying to push the envelope, and people are expecting more over the top. Like the second one happened, There's
Mhm.
2 scenes in particular that are like pretty gory and crazy, and then it's like, okay, how are we gonna top this one now? Like, then the third one comes out, and my buddies all saw it, and because like I'll wait till it comes out, I'm in no rush. I didn't mind spoilers, and they told me some spoilers with the kills, and I'm just like, oh yeah, they definitely kicked it up a notch, and it is very controversial.
I don't know. Maybe I have been desensitized by all of the things that have come before Terrifier that were considered to be taboo.
Yeah. Well, this one,
Ye-
like we've said, this one being more mainstream or accepted as
Yeah,
mainstream,
yeah.
it's everybody's, entry into, this torture porn stuff for the most part. So, yeah.
And
I
it's
see.
Yeah, it's like
self-made, low budget, like
yeah.
Yeah.
You guys
It's
keep
like the
calling it torture
movie.
porn, but I don't personally view it as that. But
Mhm.
maybe I should. I don't know. Like I
You,
viewed
you,
there are other films that I've seen that I think were a little more over the top personally, but I can't think of what they are. But I remember actually no, there was Serbian film that was fucking ridiculous, but I hate that
Tell us
movie.
about it.
It's so
You didn't like
fucking
it?
bad. No, that's disgusting. It holds no value whatsoever to exist. They should get rid of it.
That had a better allegory than Terrifier did.
Oh my god.
I don't need it. I don't need an allegory though for all my horror films. Sometimes
man.
I just want like carnage.
Mhm.
I
It's like
think
going to a
So-
NASCAR race. You're not there for the race. You're there for the wreck.
Oh, you're not there for
There.
the left turns?
Oh,
Let's
I
not
like
start.
left turns. They're very exciting.
oh man,
Yeah,
there's-
I've been to NASCAR races with
Yeah, I've dragged her to quite a few. That's why she's dragging me everywhere now. It's like she would always be
paying
like,
the
"Oh, they made
price, buddy."
another left. Oh, guess what they did? They made another." I'm like, "Stop it, stop."
I haven't figured her out yet. Like, she likes all this horrible movies, but then like fun stuff she's like doesn't like. I don't know how you do
You
Fuzz.
think Fuzzy's got her figured out yet?
Oh, it's like a new day every day with her.
Yeah, I'm just saying, Terrifier is torture porn. If you look at the definition of torture porn, it definitely is torture porn. This is not
I mean,
a regular slasher. It's not because it doesn't have a story or anything like that, or doesn't have a backstory. It's because it's glorified violence. It's how can you top what I just did?
Yeah, I guess so.
It
my
really is
beer.
about the gore, not necessarily the art of,
the art of art.
killing somebody.
Oh,
Oh, look at you! You
art
stay up late
too.
last night thinking of that one.
I knew this was going to happen.
There's a signature. If you go back to Halloween, there's a signature that Michael Myers has. There's a signature
music.
that Jason has. Art the Clown, not so much a signature because he's
still
just
finding it.
into.
Sauce
Man,
people
Yeah,
in
he's-
half.
If he talked, I'd be so disappointed. Like,
Yeah,
it would just take like if some.
Well, Jason doesn't talk either.
Yeah, but like I feel like
well,
if
he
art
sort of does.
if Art talked, I'd be more disappointed in Art talking than Jason talking. Like, if Jason talked at first, I'd be like, oh, okay. But if Art talks, it's just like, oh man, that ruined it. Like, because Art is very with his expressions and stuff. Like, you know what he's saying by his expressions and his body language. Or Jason, yeah, it's just walking.
And I'm not arguing that he has to talk or anything like that. I'm just saying that he fits more of a definition of a serial killer that's just trying to top his previous kill.
He's looking for that high.
Having fun.
He's chasing the high. Yeah.
Yeah. Whereas with Jason and Mike Myers and stuff like that, and even Freddy, it's a deliberate victim that they're going after. They're not just going after any random. There is a particular victim that they're looking for. Even with Jason, he's looking for camp counselors. Kids get in the way, he'll kill them. But
But Art
he's
the
looking
Clown-
for a particular victim.
But Art the Clown was resurrected in the second film, if I'm not mistaken. It's been a
Correct.
while since I've seen it.
Mhm.
So he's supernatural. He doesn't need,
Mhm.
just like Freddy was supernatural. Jason was supernatural.
Mhm.
Michael depends on who you ask and which timeline you want to follow, I guess, was also supernatural.
Mhm.
Um, I don't know. I agree that he shouldn't speak. I like what Presto. I'm with Presto in that respect, 100%. I think he's a great character, and I do know that Damien Leone said that he's already mapping out or worked out what the fourth and quote unquote final movie is going to be.
Mhm.
I don't know. I'm just looking. I just love the character. I think he's cool, and it took me a long time to get into the Terrifier movies. Actually,
Mhm.
I didn't watch them until like 2 years ago. I didn't watch the first one, even though I knew it existed and I wanted to watch it, but I never got to it. And then I did, and I watched All Hallows Eve, Terrifier 1, 2, and now I'm just super jazzed for 3, but I don't think I'm going to get to see it before it's out of theaters.
Mhm.
But I do want to go because I would love to see someone puke in the theater because I think that'd be great.
Not me. Someone pukes, I puke. So it'd be over for me.
Did anybody get a little nauseous when Paul threw up in the?
No, because that was
really.
like so that was real. Like that he really got
That was
nauseous.
real.
Yeah,
He
that
really
wasn't
did.
part of the movie, but it was like a quick throw up. It almost looked liquid. Like it wasn't like you had that whole gagging and then threw up or like like disgusting throw up. It was just kind of like almost like a spit up and then it was like over. So I was totally okay with it. Like by the time you realized what happened, it was done. So no worries on that part.
Yeah.
No, I thought that was it was a kind of a funny scene because he's about ready to piss his pants and the door finally busts open, hops over the counter, and he's
Yeah,
like, "Bleh." Like, okay.
Yeah, I think it was because of the strobe lights or something like that, because that
Yeah.
can cause
Oh yeah, happened to me
people
once.
to throw up and stuff.
Mhm.
It caused me to throw up, but it made me dizzy, and I smoked my head into like a metal beam, and I got 6 stitches
Mhm.
for it.
Ouch.
Yeah,
It's a
I
good
was like
story.
10 years old, or between 8 and 10, something like that. So I don't like strobe lights either.
Mm.
Holds a special place in your heart.
Yeah, exactly.
something like that.
All right, so obviously Fuzzy wants to go back to the original topic.
Sorry.
No, it was just it was awesome talking about Terrifier because I'm imagining if he could talk, I want him to have a voice like Bobcat Goldthwait. Like just like
My
that would be
God.
I think that would be even scarier at that point. It's like what the like what have I been drinking? Why is Bobcat dressed up as a clown trying to cut me up? Yeah, no, but
What's scarier than that is if the day ever happens that us and Fee like give a movie the same score.
yeah,
I'm gonna
at
be
that point,
interested.
no,
I'll be
the day we
interested
all
in
give
this
us
training.
yeah, we all give the same score. It's time for everybody to play the lotto. But then again, whatever state you're in, they'll probably run out of money because everybody wound up hitting that day, and everybody just wind up with an extra $1 than what they had the day before, kind of thing. But but I really enjoyed this movie. Like I said before, just looking at how like all the haunted houses that I've gone through before, taking the kids through and stuff, and I'm usually the one that they say, "Oh, you got to go in front." Okay, and I can
You're
partially
the human
see
shield.
yeah, I'm the human shield, and I can see in one eye in the dark pretty good or better than normal with one of my eyes. I can see in the dark, and the other eye, it's like it might as well just be like somebody put a what do you call it, a eye patch or something over the other eye. But I'm in front, and it's like you got the rubber walls where you feel the hands, through the rubber walls, or you got the strobe lights going, and and whatnot. And it's like, okay, this is fun. And then seeing how they did similar things, not the rubber walls or whatever, but they did like the strobe lights and all that stuff. And it's like, oh, okay, one of these things is moving. Okay, it's not there, and now it's back and it's closer. Yeah, that would have been. I may not have thrown up, but it would have been one of those things where if I thought one of my buddies was effing with me while we're doing a test run, it had been like, all right, karate chop to the throat or kick to the to the stomach or something, and then all right, I'm running out the door. Be like, okay, don't do that kind of stuff. When we're doing a test run, it's like, yeah, and oh, we're all out here. Okay, what the hell did I just kick? So
let me ask you this: knowing, I guess all of you can answer this, is knowing that this is a real haunted attraction.
Mm-hmm.
If you guys went to the haunted attraction now, and now that you've seen this movie, and there was the clowns in there, would you be freaked out, or would you think it was cool, or
I love it?
Like all of a sudden the clown's there and its head just slightly turns. Like now that you saw that movie and it's like you're in the scene then. Like that is your scene.
It would depend on if the hair on the back of my neck stood up or not. Like there's some stuff where I see it. No, because like clowns aren't scary for me. I know Fee's a little taken aback by the clowns. I know one of my sons was taken aback by clowns. The other one was fine with clowns, but clowns don't really scare me. But if the hair on the back of my neck stands up because I know that shouldn't have happened and I'm seeing something that probably shouldn't be, yeah, I would have definitely been freaked out. But if it's just like, oh, I can see it's like somebody in the mask and whatnot, I'm like, okay. Ooh, okay. but there are times where you can tell, like I know I'm not the only person that's like walked past like a doorway or turned real quick and saw like what appears to be like a shadow or something, and you have to do like a double take kind of thing. And it's like, all right, it's probably time for me to leave this area, but it's not like it happens frequently. It's just I've had those weird experiences or where you can feel the hair on your body just like stand up. Yeah. Those are the times where it's like, okay, it's time to go kind of thing. But if I just see a clown, like an animatronic or mannequin, and they got it rigged so you can kind of slowly turn its head, it'd be like, no, I see the wire, right? I hear the motor going. I'm cool.
No. If you knew it was a haunted house for real,
a real haunted house, yeah,
a real one.
Mm-hmm.
And you went in there and saw something that you had seen in this movie, you probably wouldn't even gotten in the front door.
Well, if I'm on haunted grounds and the hair starts standing up or I get that cold chill, yeah, I'm not going. I'm good. In. I can see from here.
I'll probably die, but I'll still go.
No, I always like in those scenarios where it's like a real haunted area or people have had like real sightings kind of thing. Like I know my limits. I know how far before the spirits start getting pissed off. And if I get that cold chill, like a real cold chill that shouldn't be there in like the middle of summer, yeah, okay, yeah, I'm gonna walk over here by this tree that's close to the car so I can get back in the car, and I'm going home. Yeah, I'm probably. I wouldn't call myself the scaredy cat. I'm just perceptive to those things. And she might even tell you, like when one of her family members passed, I felt him run up our stairs in our house through her and through me, and I'm like, yeah, that's weird,
unacceptable.
Fuck that.
And then sure enough, we got the call that somebody had passed like minutes ago, and I thought it was like my brother, because my brother was gravely sick at the time, and I'm like, he would never do that. He would never run through me. If anything, he would try not to scare the crap out of me and appear somewhere and try to calm me down or whatever, but he wouldn't run up the stairs like that. And sure enough, like it wasn't even 15 minutes before you got the call about your uncle, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh,
Which
so-
I don't know
hell
why
no.
he come and run it. I don't know why he'd be up in our house.
I don't know
mean,
either, but
I'd leave that house and get sage and cleanse the shit out of that and whatever else I needed to do. Like, I ain't about that, man. Supernatural ghost shit. Nope, nope, nope. No, thank you. I'm the biggest puss.
hey, you'll be a live push. That you know that's I don't know, but there's fun to be had, but there are times where it's like, yeah, I don't trust it. And if if you want to believe in guardian angels, I kind of do. They'll even tell me, yeah, go back the other way. Okay,
I mean,
good looking out.
everyone saw the movie Angels in the Outfield. Angels are real.
Mm.
That's a good movie.
Yeah.
We should review that one.
I didn't know it was a horror.
It's not.
It's not, but it's a classic.
It's a classic.
Mhm.
So
And Disney-
I
rating.
vote pass.
Look at the cast on that movie, though. I haven't watched it in a long time, and I looked up the cast. I was like, holy shit, it's got a good cast of people.
All right, so let's get back to this ratings.
I want you to go first.
No,
Yeah.
I'm not going first.
No, this one,
Y'all say
this one you need to go first. This one is like,
no.
I say we take a vote. I vote you got to go first.
yeah,
Hey,
me
wait
too.
a minute here.
Yeah. I think
Oh,
that's a good
3
idea.
nothing done.
There we go.
Okay.
Three to
You're
one.
ganging up on me. You're ganging up on me.
Listen,
No,
No.
we're not. It's because we care.
Yeah.
and if you don't do it, we're gonna vote you out.
Oh,
That's gonna work. I'm alpha.
Like Fright Night without Ferocious fee. Yeah.
Yeah,
Watch
that's
our-
not possible.
it would
Our
be hard to
ratings
change
will go
that. To
through our
change that.
roof. All right,
Well,
so what
nice.
do you give it?
So Fuzzy's gonna get a new podcast. He's got what, 7, 8? How many you got now?
I don't even know.
He's a real
I-
whore for podcasting, eh?
Yeah, he is.
Yeah, I know.
It's my daily fix. I got to talk about stuff. Gaming, horror.
Did he tell you he was on a 4-hour podcast?
That's
No,
insane.
don't just. That was the
A
time flew.
mistake.
Well, the time flew, but yeah, I try not to do 4 hours. 2 hours is what I want as a limit. Sometimes it goes a little bit beyond that, but
An hour and a
He
half
was
is
on-
what is
he was
pushing it for
on-
me.
He was on for over 3 hours with 3-bit on a almost over 3-hour podcast.
yeah.
That's probably because you were like, "Hey, when you're doing this podcast, we got to talk about something."
Can
And
we
he's
do
like,
the dishes?
He's
he's like-
avoiding me.
"Yeah," he's like, "Oh shit, I don't want to be part of this one." 8-bit's like, "All right, we got to wrap it up." He's like, "Wait, one more thing."
I would do that
Oh.
too. Not gonna lie.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh.
Come on,
So
Fee,
you-
what's your score? Come on.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, don't be a peckerhead.
Oh,
Okay, I don't think it was bad.
Mhm.
I don't think it was 9.5 though.
Okay, that's okay.
But I do like what they did with the Paul character. He is
You
very
got a
realistic.
thing for Paul.
he's so dreamy.
Okay,
Um,
so
So I liked what they did with his character, the realistic actions that he did. I also like what they did with Sarah's character. I mean, I know it was a little cheesy having her stare at a wall, but it worked for what was going on, and definitely the clown was scary. He is, very, very creepy and stuff like that. I mean, in fact, all of them sitting down
yeah,
in the basement was definitely freaky. So, I mean, I think it was a little bit of a mess, and there was some sound quality issues once or twice. But I would give it probably probably an 8. It's a better horror kind of haunted thing, found footage than. I mean, Blair Witch is always going to be iconic because it was one of the first ones that was on the mainstream circuit. And there have been some really bad ones since then. So I would give it an 8. I don't think it was a 9.5.
I mean,
But
eight's pretty
it wasn't
close.
horrible.
Yeah.
Huh?
Eight's pretty close. Well, I
Pretty
mean,
high.
also with Blair Witch though, like the internet wasn't really around and everything. Like the mom was getting like cards in the mail because people thought her daughter really died and stuff. So you'll never be able to recreate that with like out the internet. Like it was like I don't know how old or young I was, but I remember it was like, oh my god, like this is real. Like we have the footage. Like, do you want to watch? And it was like, oh my god, yeah. Like I remember where I was, what I was doing, and like, yeah, it was scary as shit because like you thought it was real. At least I did at the time, and then you're like, oh my god.
It was the beginning of when the internet was going into homes. Like we had the internet at that time.
Rich people.
But the thing about it was that there was a website up. The websites at that time were not the best. They weren't, very appealing and stuff like that. Their particular website was very bare bones minimum.
It was
It was
GeoCities,
very
man.
dark.
Yeah.
GeoCities.
So I mean, it didn't have much to it, and I think that's what the appeal was in the fact of, hey, maybe they are missing, and the fact that they hid out and nobody in their town or whatever let the secret out to the news and everything like that was even better. But you could do that back then, so that's why I said, that was all iconic. That was really smart marketing.
It'll never
And
happen
it was
again.
great.
Yeah, with phones and everything, like there's
Yep.
cameras everywhere. Like you go through the woods now to try to refilm that. You're doing like hunting cameras, you're setting off, and just all types of stuff. And it's one of those movies where you'll never be able to recreate something like that again. The feeling, the atmosphere, and
it's unfortunate, but what's really cool is that we were around when it did happen, and we got to be like, hey, this is like when marketing changed for horror film, and it was a really cool. It was a really cool thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
God,
now,
all right.
Well, I think I'm the young one out of the group, but
probably. How old are you?
38.
Oh yeah.
So, do you still wet yourself at night, or
Doesn't everyone?
I mean, like I just stopped like last year.
Oh, and how old are you?
I'm not gonna answer that with any reasonable answer.
So I guess I got some time to get it figured out.
Remember, as you get older, you revert back to what you did when you were younger. So you may be wetting yourself early, and then when you get much later, you go back to wetting yourself.
Can't wait. If I make it to that age, I'll outlive all of my family members, man, because they don't have a long life. It's all good.
I see how people are avoiding these ratings. I already gave mine. Who else?
Okay, you gave an 8, you said?
Yes. I'm being very generous.
I would give it an 8.3. Like I really liked it. I liked the found footage part. I liked the camera wasn't very herky-jerky. The clown sold me. And then just enjoying the other ones. Now, I can't grade that because we're only grading this one. But yeah, I give it solid 8.4. Definitely recommend it. Like we said, it's not one you're going to watch, like, maybe not every Halloween you rotate it in your schedule. But, like, it's not one you watch where you regret watching it. Like you all said, this was your, first or second time watching it, and you want to watch the other ones. You want to see how the story progresses or what happens next. So it's a good sign.
Yeah, absolutely. So
Fuzzy, or
I don't put rating numbers on anything. I say, is it worth your time or is it not? And I think it's worth your time if you enjoy this kind of movie, if you like found footage, if you appreciate, the independent world of horror filmmaking. I think that this movie does a really good job of that.
Mhm.
And I know you really appreciate it. So yeah, just I think it's worth checking out if you've never seen it before. Jump in, have a watch, and hopefully we didn't spoil anything on you, like too bad on you, because we do get kind of spoilery in here.
Yeah.
But
maybe
Yeah.
it's an old
maybe
movie, so I mean, if you haven't seen it up till now,
Well, I
that's
I
on
don't
you,
think
not
we
us.
gave away a lot of parts. We certainly didn't give away the ending to it.
Yeah.
No, we didn't, and I think we should not do that because I think that I did really enjoy the ending. I thought I kind of had it figured out, but I was like,
Mhm.
but I did like it. I thought it was decent and effective, and it fit right in with the whole story
Yeah.
to me.
Yep.
So yeah, I definitely think you not watched it. It's worth your time to give it a watch. It's only like an hour and a half long, so it's not a real big ask either.
and it's
Yeah.
Halloween season, so
It's
Oh,
spooky
yeah.
season, my friend.
Oh,
Yeah.
before Fuzzy rates it, just wanted to let you know, Sin hated Blair Witch Project.
Mm.
who?
Oh yeah,
Sin.
One of the people in the chat.
Yep.
it's
Sin.
okay to
Yep.
it's okay to be wrong.
Yeah,
I tell my wife that all the time.
probably
I-
because too many people talked in Blair Witch. So
yeah.
yeah,
No, I like Blair Witch. I like the comedy in it, although people probably didn't see the comedy in it to some extent. But I
Oh, I
was
did.
like, "Where's the map? Where's the effing map? I kicked that thing down the river." Like,
Yeah,
that just
yeah.
cracked me up. That there was just so much stuff that's like, okay, we've been going in circles and whatnot, and it's like we ain't figured this out. All right. Well, then again, it's before compasses on your or GPS on your phone, although you probably wouldn't have reception out there and whatnot. But yeah, you guys are right. It was a different time, and you can't market a movie like that these days without it, possibly being spoiled and whatnot. But I like that movie.
They
I
made
don't
a
know
part
about-
two.
I love both of them. Actually, the original two, the first and second one, I really like.
Mhm.
Even like the more like the requel or the reboot or however you want to look at it,
Mhm.
also really
Mhm.
enjoyed.
I do have to check out the second one because I've heard from a couple different people that it is a solid movie. Like,
You haven't seen it?
no, I have
Oh,
not.
buddy, you got homework this weekend.
So I think the second one was more in the lines of kind of paranormal activity kind of concept rather than the original, because I don't think they wanted to recreate what they
Yeah.
did in the beginning, because at that time we had more access to internet, and I think it might have been more difficult for them
It
to
was
pull it
it was
off.
definitely a more mainstream horror film, but I like that it was kind of like telling us a story that was adjacent to, well, not adjacent, but like connected to the first one
Mhm.
in a more like reality sort of era, I guess you could say. I definitely think that the sequel is more than worth the viewing.
Well, then I do have homework.
All right, Fuzzy, your turn.
All right. So for my rating of Hell House LLC, I definitely agree with you guys on it being worth your time. Definitely worth a watch, especially if you're going to go to a haunted house this season. Check this out. At least the night before. Make the visit to the haunted house even that much more interesting. I give it a solid 8 as well. I don't want to give it higher than that because I haven't seen the other ones just yet, but this one was a pleasant surprise. Like I think the biggest thing for me, I've not that I'm jaded in any way or anything like that, but some of the movies we've picked are not necessarily my normal cup of tea. And it's like, oh yeah, this one's okay, this one's not bad. this one was actually pretty damn good.
I
I
mean-
enjoyed it, and I could. I mean, is some of the stuff predictable? Yes, but you know what? That was probably the fun part about it, because it's like I'm rooting for Paul to convince the people to get out of the building, and it's like, oh, it's not working. Oh, they got him. Oh no, and it's like, yeah, it's definitely a good movie to check out this season. If you want something that you haven't seen before, or maybe you've seen it, a while back, definitely even give it a rewatch, just for the fact that you might pick up on a few things from some of the camera work where you do see, because there were certain things that they didn't necessarily point out, like where you could tell it was a mannequin, and then like an intentional one that the team set up, and then the camera zoomed by it, and it's like, no, that's an actual person there, or one of the team members when they were under something. But yeah, it's a good film. It's I wouldn't say it has Easter eggs to any other film, or at least none that I noticed, but it's got some that stuff that you may not catch. Like there was a couple of things I had to rewind a couple of times. I was like, wait, that wasn't there when they first walked into the room. And those are the type of things that I sometimes notice. It's like, okay, they intentionally set that up, and maybe nobody else caught on to it, but they did that for the audience to see, how well they paid attention to stuff. But yeah, good film. Happy I watched it. Recommend it, especially for this season. But just recommend, if you're a found footage fan, give it a watch. It's a solid 8, if not better. But I definitely want to check out some of the other ones. Usually the first film is usually the best in a lot of cases, but we'll see. But I'll let you guys know after I watch the other ones too. So pretty happy.
So I just want to point out. Sorry, I got cut off. I just want to point out, I think just our scores on this one are still higher than all of these put together.
Now,
I correct me if I'm wrong, but I think that might be the case.
That is,
and that's not even taking out.
Shade.
And that's not even taking out her 7.4s she throws around there so freely.
He's always throwing me shade. Just let you know this. Always.
When deserved.
It's funny for me. I'm not gonna lie.
It is for Fuzzy too.
Yeah.
It's almost like I feel like she's like a sister of mine. Like I got to give her shit.
All right. I like
that's what I do.
Yeah.
Do it.
Maybe one of these times when we get together again, I'll just be like super nice and throw her completely off. Just be like, "It's so good to see you again." And like,
bring a bouquet of flowers.
Yeah. Be like,
are you feeling okay?
Be like, yeah.
Something's wrong. Are you dying?
Have you been possessed by a weird clown creature from a hotel?
It's like, no, I just figured if I'm nice to you, won't make me watch any bad movies anymore.
Good point.
You watched all the bad movies. There were a couple that weren't bad.
I mean, if
This
I
one
would have
was
just
definitely not
watched
bad.
them, they would be bad. But compared to the other ones you made us watch, they seem to be good. Like you did a Jedi mind trick on us. But I feel like everyone did enjoy this one. Like this was a good one.
Yeah.
I can't wait for my next pick.
Do you know what it is?
Yeah.
Can we give it away now? Is that okay, Fee? Tell the listeners what the next week.
That's fine. Wait a minute. As long as he promises not to suddenly disappear.
Listen, I told you guys about Thanksgiving. I wasn't going to be here. The one time that was my bad. What?
Mysteriously,
it was the one time. It happened once. Every week.
Wait, and it was the zombie strippers one, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was zombie strippers. You know what? I was really looking forward to rewatching it again.
You still can. We're just not going to talk about it.
Well, you know what? I think I might be able to shoehorn it in next time.
Yeah.
I don't think Kaneda watched the zombie stripper episode. Have you watched it?
I haven't got to it yet. I've been so busy. Like honestly, I don't even have time to fucking breathe lately. And now,
So,
and I got a 15-year-old who's got a boyfriend. Oh
Oh,
goddamn! This is the
oh.
world's worst goddamn life I'm living right now. It's not
Do you
good.
like him?
Yeah, he's fine, but I might have to kill him soon.
Uh-oh.
Edit that part out,
I might have
folks.
to go Art the Clown soon. Start
So-
sawing people in half.
Just take them hunting and do a Cheney on
I
them.
have a friend who's got 200 acres of land just around the corner from here, and 100 acres of it is swamp. We
Ah.
might go for a walk this fall to go look at leaves. I don't know.
We're just joking, everyone. We're still live.
I'm not.
Just look at the flowers. Look at the pretty flowers.
Yes. Look at the pretty flowers. I'm gonna carol your ass. So yeah. So I'm sorry. I have
what's
not
the
got to
movie?
it, but yeah, I've been very busy. Maggie.
Maggie?
Mm.
Never heard of it.
Arnold Schwarzenegger's in it. It's a
Oh,
horror. It's a zombie movie. And
You haven't watched
Abigail Breslin is in it.
I watched it.
I have
I've watched
not.
it. Yeah.
Hmm.
2015, is that the one?
Yeah.
Sounds about right. Yeah.
Wow.
Okay.
And you've seen it?
I've seen it twice.
I'm
All
just
right.
gonna say this. It's not a bad movie, but it's also not what you think.
Well,
Listen, you're not supposed. We're not talking about
yeah,
that
we're
right
not
now.
talking about it.
Why don't you settle down over there?
Wow, look at her just so happy to shit on people's movies
Right?
right away.
Right.
Just like-
I know.
Saying that, I'm just saying, don't
Not
go in expecting certain things to occur because it's not.
How about you
I
stop
mean, like
telling me
we
what
can
to
discuss
do?
whether or not we're going to do it, but I'm just saying, like that's something that I was going to put out there.
I'm
Jesus.
fine with it. Hey, if it has some zombie tendencies, I'm down for it. I like zombie
It's-
movies, so
I liked it a lot.
Do it. I'm not saying we can't do it. I'm just saying that just don't go in expecting certain things to occur.
Sure.
yeah, I'm
Okay.
watching like a trailer of it. It gives me vibes of
open
a
mind.
video game that a lot of people like. So
Like Arnold's not dropping any of his great one-liners in this film.
get to the chopper.
No,
I know you're expecting
No,
it,
it's not.
but it's not going to be there, and that's what
It's
she's
not gonna
talking
be
about. Get
He
to the
won't be
you're
chopper.
not going to get the same Arnold Schwarzenegger. Just
And I love
saying
Arnold
that.
Schwarzenegger. I like man crush on Schwarzenegger in a weird way, but not in like a way that I want to sleep with him, but I want to make him dinner and ask him how his day was.
Mm. It's not a tumor.
Not the tumor.
I mean, we can do Maggie. I don't have a problem with that.
Yeah.
It sounds like
Is
you
that
I have
do.
to figure it. Yeah, it does sound like she's got a
Like
bit
it
of
was
vision.
like, I
that
want to
gonna
do
be next
Maggie
week?
next week. Don't expect a good movie.
Well, I
Whatever
never
you
said next
expect.
week.
Never said that.
What
Never
is
said
next
that.
week?
Mm-hmm.
Next week is
The
the
25th.
25th.
I've talked to my wife. I might be able to be here.
Either that or we can do it November 1st.
No, I'm not gonna be here on the 1st, for sure.
Okay.
So probably next week.
Okay.
Okay.
That works.
Okay.
But we'll discuss that
Yeah, I'd be here.
on the opposite side.
Yeah.
No,
All right.
Maggie's not the kid robot.
No. Oh, that reminds me of another great movie. Oh shit. All right.
What's this other movie?
So she said Kid Robot, and there was this movie in the 80s,
Mm-hmm.
and it was awesome. I loved it as a kid, and it was called Deadly Friend,
Yes.
and it had the original Buffy the Vampire Slayer in it,
Yep.
Mm.
and it was
Christmas Happy.
fucking awesome.
But can we get it?
Oh, I can get it.
You can get it. Can everybody else get it?
If I can
No,
get it, everybody else can get it.
Yeah.
it's $3
There are
on
I'm on
ways.
board. I
Amazon.
like that movie.
Deadly Friend was awesome.
Yeah.
Deadly Friend.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep. Yep.
That was my first introduction to the original Buffy, and I was like, oh, she's nice.
Mhm.
I like her. But that was a good ass movie. I think you guys will like that.
Do we want to do Deadly Friend or do we want to do Maggie?
Well, now I want to do Deadly Friend, but I got to see if I can find it first. So,
Okay. Well, tentatively Maggie, which is zombie, and Deadly Friend, murderous robot.
oh, there it is right there. I got it downloading right now.
Nice.
Uh-huh.
Don't worry, I'll help you guys out.
Okay.
And it's done
I look
downloading.
like Deadly Friend.
So this is like the horror version of Small Wonder.
Yeah,
I don't know, Small Wonder.
pretty much. Pretty much.
Anyway, I
Teenage
just
version.
downloaded it. It's already downloaded.
Nice.
Okay.
So I'll
right.
help you guys out if you can't find it.
So, looks like Deadly Friend next week.
Awesome.
All right.
Awesome.
Let's do it. And Fee is just like, "Whew, dodged a bullet on that one.
I never said
Don't want to watch
that.
Arnold Schwarzenegger, like iconic dude.
Yeah,
Arnold
she's hater.
Schwarzenegger.
Yeah.
I'm
That's such
just
a bad
letting.
attitude today for a
I'm
Friday.
just letting other people know it's not what you expect.
I don't even know what to expect, and then you shit on it right away.
Yeah, I was watching the trailer, and it was,
Right.
like I said, it gives me vibes of a video game that a lot of people love.
Well,
So-
guess what, Fuzz? It's not that because that's
It's
what
no
you
good.
expect it.
She dumps on it.
Never said anything
it's a-
like that.
She goes. She's gonna like channel the triumph of the insult dog. It's a great movie for me to poop on.
I'm just saying, you're not gonna get original Schwarzenegger.
that's
Maybe I
fine.
don't want that.
Exactly.
This is
Maybe I
like
just-
yeah. It's good. It's worth.
Stop
it.
telling me what I want.
Mhm.
Jeez, I got a wife
Uh-huh.
that does that at home. I don't need it from you.
All right. Speaking of wives and at home, I haven't eaten yet today, so
Oh,
I
yeah,
need
we
to
got-
go.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, we got to wrap up. Well,
I'm a fat guy,
right,
and if I don't
right.
eat, I get hangry and I start clubbing people with their own arms.
well, let's roll into outros. Kaneda, we'll let you start with your outro. Then.
Sure. You can find me on Twitter mostly at Xbox Canadian. Sometimes I very poorly do my own reviews on YouTube or pixelcereal.com.
Nice. As always, awesome having you on and hearing your thoughts on these movies. Presto, go ahead and do your outro. Let everybody know where they can find you.
It was fun again this week, like always. Find me on Instagram at mromanishin, ROMANYSHYN. Yeah, that's basically it. I don't have no fancy website or anything, so keep it simple.
Lightweight.
I know, I'll get there one day.
I'm just kidding. If you need help with that, I can help you.
Nice. Always love having you on here. Thanks again for being there for these movie reviews. Always like your insight as well. Fee, go ahead and do your outro. Let everybody know where they can find you.
So again, we're doing the haunted, scenes and everything over at the Modena Borough Hall. Should be fun. That's from Saturday. That's Saturday tomorrow from 4 until 8. So if you're in the local area, or know somebody in the local area, to Modena, Coatesville area, just come and check us out. Like I said, 4 o'clock. You guys can always email me at ferociousfee78@gmail if you have any suggestions or anything like that as far as movies, or if you know of something that's going to be happening in the horror world. So always check us out on YouTube as well. What about you, Fuzzy?
Well, always a pleasure doing these podcasts with you guys. Love talking about these horror movies. It's like my second hobby along with gaming. For those that don't know, they can find me on Twitter or X or what was
Twitter.
formerly known as Twitter.
Still Twitter.
I like calling it Twitter at fuzzy_Belvedere. You can also find me on a number of gaming podcasts on Fun Speculations channel on Mondays and Fridays, and on Double Barrel Gaming Mondays and Fridays, and then PTK Blam's channel on Saturdays, and on Pixelated Echoes with 3-Bit on Sundays. Once again, thank you so much for those that were watching us live, and for those that catch us on replay. We greatly appreciate it. Hit that like button, subscribe if you haven't already. We definitely appreciate all the support. And if you have any questions or suggestions, put those in the comments, let us know. But once again, thank you guys for your time, and hope to see you guys next Friday, same time, same place, same channel. Have a good week.
Oh, and by the way,
You're such a slut.
Fuzzy, Maniac is a little hurt by no links today, and he asked you about a game. What game is that, Fuzzy? So yeah.
Wait.
I think we were talking about the Maggie thing.
Oh, I see about Maggie, but I know he was talking earlier about what do you call it? Scorn, as well as another one, Sinking City, which I'm gonna have to give a try. But yeah, I see what he's talking about family. No, but I'll have the links in the description after the show. But thank you guys so much. Greatly appreciate you guys hanging out with us, and always giving us feedback and interacting with us. We greatly appreciate it. But have a good weekend. Hope to catch you guys same place, same channel next weekend. See you then.
Bye.
Bye.
See you later.